I'm no clay boy. Charge now, my masons! Clear the rocks from their nests! For the red and blood!
I immediately spawn in, ready to catch the fade with the next guy I see, and get absolutely disintegrated within the first couple seconds I arrive. I then admire my boy's absolutely gorgeous mustache before we go right back into battle. I throw my shield at him to assert dominance, and he is immediately ready to throw a fade. I throw my shield at him again to assert dominance once more, and bro is absolutely ready to throw a fucking fade. I pick up my sword that I just threw, and since he is clearly no match for me, I begin to just let the Viagra settle in my system before ultimately throwing a slash, hitting his neck. I hit him with a slash from the right hand and immediately get my fucking skull caved in from some dude behind me, ultimately ending both of our lives. My time to Aura farm was ultimately cut short as I totally mistake this guy for a fucking enemy. Although I just accidentally slashed his throat, he comes in with a crazy fucking overhead. We proceed to bully this guy, and as he shifts his attention over to my teammate, I slash his throat and begin to assert dominance once more. I flank the enemy and get one lucky slash on this guy, then proceed to get bullied by the whole school. Behind enemy lines, I unfortunately get poked by somebody's pecker in the back, and have no other option but to block like my life depends on it. I end up falling into a pile of burning human feces, and ultimately that is my demise. I bash my sword against my shield as the last bit of Viagra settles in my system. I see my bro on the left absolutely bullying this guy on a horse. So I decide to push to enemy lines. I take a swing, I miss, I take another one and I hit my teammate. Then I get stabbed in the fucking neck. I get thrown around like a girl in a brothel. I can immediately tell that this guy spends all his hours on this game and get slashed in the throat. I get revived by a teammate and come back for vengeance, but ultimately my teammate ends him and I take all the credit. We were able to push him back to their gates and immediately get sworn with arrows, and all I want to do at this point is just go home. I turn around to check on my bro, and he's in a 1v1 with our literal teammate. One of our teammates decides to step in, so I decide to try to bash his skull in as he chased my boy around the map. Eventually the conflict is resolved and we go back to trying to fight our enemies. We end up pushing the enemy back, and the only thing standing in our way is this guy, and we absolutely fucking rock his shit right off of his horse. He is no match for us as one of our teammates knocks his fucking head off and it rolls down the hill. I run up to the battering ram, hoping to help our teammates cave their walls, and get absolutely bombarded by the enemy team. This guy pays more attention to my teammate than me. I attempt to cut his head off. I'm then immediately bombarded with swings. This guy attempts to spear me through my fucking abdomen, and I take a swing at him and completely fucking miss. I take my final Viagra and attempt to rush the enemy team and end up getting in a 1v1 with this guy. As the Viagra settles into my system more, it does not work, and it does nothing because I get my fucking skull caved in. With a little bit of confidence, I walk up there and get my shit absolutely rocked by this fucking guy. I take a step back and see this guy swing at me from a mile of fucking way. He goes for a heavy attack, which I'm able to jump over. As I come down, I slash him in his head and realize that there's another one behind me. I get stabbed in the back again, and I turn around and there's 3 grown men on top of me with even bro in the back is dealing with the same shit I am. I'm able to block another attack right here, and I go on the offensive, attempting to slash at least something off of him, and I miss, and yeah, I get my fucking skull caved. I attempt to help with the battering ram. You would have thought that I stole a single mother's purse the way I get absolutely fucking jumped on by every angle. At this point, I know we need to try. We got about 50 seconds left to destroy the gates, and the enemy has been absolutely shoving our own ball sacks down our throats. This guy over here tries to sneak attack me. He shifts his attention over to my teammate, so I decide to disengage. I proceed to get pounded on by 5 grown men. After many failed attempts and almost losing the objective altogether, we were able to break their gates. I watch as my teammates begin to flood this tiny room and see 3 poor souls in there. And this time, it's their turn to get smacked upon by 4 grown men. After the raid, I turn around and see my bro licking the fuck out of that door. I then proceed to get my fucking skull caved in by a barrel thrown at by our teammates. I search for enemies literally anywhere, and I turn into an alley and see my bro absolutely yanking his fucking Johnson. I steal this guy's spear and attempt to poke it into any unsuspecting enemy's tummy. The enemy decides decides that they're clearly no match for my giant spear. I end up catching one in the hindquarters. I'm able to get a jab on him once more before I get absolutely knocked in the fucking skull by this guy. I jab him right in his pelvis muscle, and really that's all I had to do with these fucks. All I had to do was just block and stab, block and stab. I got this guy, I stabbed him in his aching tummy. My teammates jump in and we're finally able to push them back out of this little chokehold that they had us blocked up in. As I watch my teammates tear through the last enemy, my bro just now must have hit climax because he finally jumps into battle. I'm able to spot an unsuspecting enemy, and what we do to this guy is definitely against Geneva. I finally get some 1v1s and viciously bully the enemy team. I vigorously touch my Johnson before absolutely jumping on this guy and fucking wailing on him. 2v1 now. In the enemy's perspective, he's absolutely getting wailed on by a guy in a fucking Santa's hat and a plague mask. Two more unsuspecting souls decide to show up, and honestly, they kinda start kicking my ass here. Thankfully though, a horde of hungry savages decides to show up and they absolutely destroy the two souls that we were fighting. And after all that, we fucking lose. Defeat. Bright, clear as day. I jump into a horde of enemies and get my shit absolutely fucking rocked for the last time.